a defiant stand against the tyranny of the perfect body. In an industry obsessively fueled by size zero expectations and irrational beauty standards, Jennifer Lawrence emerged as a breath of fresh air and a fierce rebel. She boldly refused to bow down to the immense pressure from powerful producers who demanded she undergo extreme dieting just to secure a role on the big screen. To her, mental health and genuine happiness are far more valuable than the arbitrary numbers on a scale that often imprison an actress's creativity. With a courage rarely seen in young stars, she publicly challenged the toxic ideology that a woman must look starved to be considered beautiful or talented. This move was not just a personal choice, it was a declaration of war against a system that has long damaged the self-esteem of millions of women worldwide through unrealistic and painful body images. The iconic flip-flop scandal on the sacred Cannes carpet. The Cannes Film Festival is legendary for being one of the most formal events in the world, where dress codes for women often mandate the use of agonizing high heels. However, Jennifer Lawrence shook the very foundations of this tradition by walking the red carpet in simple black flip-flops tucked beneath her couture gown. This moment was far more than a matter of physical comfort. It was a silent but incredibly powerful protest against ancient and restrictive gender norms. She proved that a woman's dignity and elegance are not defined by the height of her heels, but by her internal confidence and self-assurance. With that casual stride, she tore down the walls of public expectation that demand visual perfection on a global stage that often feels cold and unforgiving toward the women who grace its surface. A vocal rebellion against digital photo manipulation. Jennifer Lawrence has been one of the most prominent voices speaking out against the excessive use of digital editing software to alter her natural appearance in magazines or on movie posters. She understands that such manipulation creates a false beauty standard that haunts the minds of young girls who look up to her as a role model. With sharp honesty, she often points out the parts of her body that the industry considers imperfect, asserting that those details are vital parts of her human identity. She wants the world to see her as she truly is, with all the flaws that make her unique and strong. Her commitment to appearing without digital filters is an act of deep respect for reality, a brave effort to return the definition of beauty to the hands of nature rather than the hands of editors. Celebrating beauty in every possible shape and size. Rather than following the herd of uniform beauty trends, Jennifer actively celebrates the diversity of body shapes through every public appearance she makes. She consistently voices the truth that real beauty does not have a single size that can be applied to everyone across the globe. On many occasions, she has proudly showcased her healthy curves, directly defying the negative stigma that often targets women who do not possess an ultra-thin frame. Her courage to love herself amidst a storm of industry criticism serves as an incredible source of inspiration for many who feel marginalized by conventional standards. She has become a powerful symbol of the body positivity movement, teaching the world that beauty is truly about health and self-confidence, rather than how hard we try to fit into a narrow and suffocating mold. Fierce criticism of the obsession with plastic surgery. In an environment where plastic surgery procedures are treated as a daily routine to maintain a facade of youth, Jennifer Lawrence chooses to remain loyal to the natural aging process. She often hurls sharp yet witty critiques at the trend of faces that appear rigid and expressionless due to excessive medical interventions among celebrities. To her, wrinkles and facial lines are maps of a life's journey that should be honored, not hidden under layers of chemicals or a surgeon's knife. This stance provides a vital new perspective for a society that often feels paralyzed by the fear of aging. She proves that the most enduring beauty is the character that radiates through honest expressions, not a static perfection produced by medical technology that often strips the very life and soul away from a person's face. Defiance against the heroin chic aesthetic culture. Jennifer Lawrence was one of the few voices who stood tall against the dangerous heroin chic look that has periodically haunted the fashion and film industries. She openly criticized the glorification of an underweight and frail appearance, choosing instead to project an image of strength, vitality, and true health. Her refusal to compromise her well-being for a role sent a shockwave through Hollywood's casting rooms, forcing directors to rethink their narrow definitions of a leading lady. By prioritizing her physical strength over aesthetic frailty, she redefined the modern action hero as someone who is capable, muscular, and full of life. This shift in narrative empowered an entire generation of young women to embrace their strength and focus on what their bodies can achieve, rather than just how little space they can occupy. The power of authenticity over red carpet perfection. The red carpet has long been a place of high-stakes performance, but Jennifer Lawrence treats it as a space for genuine human expression, often choosing comfort and personality over rigid glamour. She has been seen making faces, stumbling, and even making fun of her own expensive jewelry, effectively stripping away the intimidating aura of Hollywood stardom. This behavior is a direct rebellion against the idea that a woman's value is tied to her ability to remain poised and silent in a beautiful dress. By breaking the fourth wall of celebrity perfection, she reveals the absurdity of the standards placed upon women in the spotlight. Her willingness to look messy or act out of character is a radical act of self-love that invites the audience to do the same, proving that true elegance is found in the freedom to be imperfect. Challenging the myth of the ageless Hollywood starlet. In a culture that views aging as a failure to be fixed, Jennifer Lawrence embraces the passing of time with a refreshing sense of humor and absolute grace. She rejects the immense pressure on female stars to remain frozen in their early 20s, speaking out about the double standards that allow men to age naturally while women are forced into a desperate race against time. Her choice to age publicly and without apology is a direct challenge to the billion-dollar anti-aging industry that profits from women's insecurities. By being comfortable in her own skin as it changes, she provides a new model of celebrity, one that celebrates maturity and experience over the hollow promise of eternal youth.
She reminds us that a face with history is far more beautiful than one that has been erased by the fear of growing older. Breaking the silence on the industry gender pay gap. Beyond physical appearance, Jennifer Lawrence destroyed beauty standards by proving that a woman's beauty also lies in her fierce intelligence and her demand for equal worth.
Her public stance on the gender pay gap in Hollywood revealed a different kind of strength, the beauty of standing up for oneself and others. She dismantled the image of the polite, quiet actress who is simply happy to be there, replacing it with a woman who knows her value and isn't afraid to speak up about unfair systems. This intellectual beauty and fire have a lasting impact far beyond any red carpet look, as she uses her platform to fight for structural change. By being difficult in the eyes of the status quo, she redefined the modern woman as someone who is not just a visual object, but a powerful force of nature. A legacy of realness in a world of digital filters. Ultimately, Jennifer Lawrence's greatest contribution to the world is her unwavering commitment to being a real person in a world that is increasingly mediated by digital filters and fake narratives. She has successfully destroyed the old Hollywood beauty standards by showing that they are not only unreachable, but also completely unnecessary for success or happiness.
Her legacy is one of empowerment, encouraging everyone to embrace their quirks, their hunger, and their loud, messy, beautiful lives. She has proven that the most attractive quality a person can have is the courage to be themselves, without any filter or apology to the world. Jennifer Lawrence didn't just break the rules of Hollywood beauty, she set fire to them and danced in the flames, leaving behind a new path for all the women who will come after.